Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn, and in this video I'll be making this haunted house Halloween card, and I'll be using the haunted house set from Diamond Press, which I think it's an older set, but I found it on sale on the Diamond Press website, so I picked it up, and it's super cute. It makes this more of a mansion than a house, and it has so many details. And what's really nice about this house is that it's a very classic looking house that doesn't necessarily have to be haunted at all or Halloween themed. So you can really theme it however you like and use it for whatever occasion you like, because unlike a lot of other sort of haunted houses that are specifically Halloween themed, there isn't anything kind of broken down or that looks like it's scary and old and crumbling. So it is wonderful in that way. There are a lot of different dies that cut out these various layers. So you do have the backing plate, which I've die cut from yellow, and that is going to be the foundation on which you're going to build up the rest of your house. And at the end of the day, the only thing that will show from that backing layer is what's through the window. So that's why I've chosen yellow. So it kind of looks like the lights aren't on in the house. And the instructions for how to layer and assemble these pieces all come in with the die set, which does also include a stamp set that I won't be using. And the other thing that's really clever and nice about how they've designed this set of dies is that they have included on one die plate all of the pieces that you would want potentially in the same color. That way, when you're doing your die cutting, you can die cut all of the pieces that will be needed in that particular color of cardstock and have it all in one pass. So that's really super convenient. You don't have to kind of cut small pieces of cardstock and put them exactly where you need them. You can just use that single die plate and potentially get multiple pieces out of it, just depending on the look that you want. Now, of course, if you want to deviate from that, you can do what I'm doing, where I've just placed this little bit of glitter card over the door, and that's because I actually want the sort of screen, so to speak, of the door to be this light pinkish color. So the options are there, but the convenience is built into how they've designed these die plates, which I think is really awesome. So with these houses, there are kind of, I suppose, three sections of the house. So you've got the center of the house, which is the piece that I'm working on now. And in the instructions for how to layer and put together your house, they show you that the intention is for this section, the middle section of the house, to almost kind of sit forward a little bit from the two sides of the house. And they show that by having it cut from a lighter color cardstock, but in the same shade as the two sides. And so I've done the exact same thing here as well, where I've cut just a slightly lighter shade of purple for this centerpiece. And there's all these little, the attention to detail on the design of this house is just amazing. Now, I actually want the railing along the steps, instead of being purple, which is what they suggest, I'm actually going to die cut it out of black. And I have some black cardstock that's, black, but not like jet black. So that's what I've used here. And there's even this little itty bitty square piece that I almost forgot about, but I don't want that in purple, because like I mentioned, originally they wanted you to do this in the light purple. And so they had the dark purple from the sides of the house be the piece that I'm about to die cut here. But because I switched it and decided I wanted my sort of railings to be this more charcoal black, I used my jet black paper for this little itty bitty square. I'm going to pause it here just so that you can see it's a tiny, tiny little piece, but it really does sell the illusion of the dimensionality of this house, because that in real life, that would be where shadow would be cast, because it's going straight down as opposed to, being a little bit more slanted where it would catch light. So it's amazing the amount. I'm just really blown away by the amount of detail. And for some people, this sort of paper piecing may not be fun, but I love paper piecing. I love die cut inlaying and all of that. So when I saw this set, I knew I would really enjoy putting it together. So the other nice thing about this is that, as you probably have already noticed, the door is open, and the die does cut the door partially open like that. You just, and it does put a score line so that it's a little bit easy to, fold along that score line so that you get a nice straight fold. And, so I'm choosing to, I wouldn't say that this is an interactive card. Maybe it sort of is, but I'm leaving that door open sort of as a peekaboo, and I'm gonna be putting a ghost behind there. So when you open it, you'll see a little ghost. And because this middle section is intended to look like it's in front of the two side pieces, being that it's a lighter shade of purple, that's going to give you the illusion that it is in front of those already. But I'm going to attach it with foam. As you saw, I placed foam all the way around where it's not cut through. And I'm going to attach it to the base here. And that way it actually is in front of the two sides of the house. So that's pretty much our house complete. And so now I'm going to work on creating a background to set my house into a little bit of a scene. So I've pulled out some of my Distress Oxide inks. I'm using a little bit of, I think, I'll have to link the colors below because I don't remember their names off the top of my head. I think it's Squeezed Lemonade and something Citron. But I have made just a little bit of a green background, and then I'm going to use my black soot to make it look like it's nighttime. But I want to kind of preserve a little bit of the lighter area in the center where I want to put my house. And then this die set also includes, as you saw, a lot of ghosts, but it also includes two little pumpkins. One that's actually a jack-o'-lantern with the happy face cut into it, and as well just a plain pumpkin, which I'm gonna just draw a little happy face into. I don't know if I'm gonna use it like that or not, but I just thought it would be fun. And then you also get two bats. I didn't show it on camera, but I also sprayed just the top portion where it's darker. I sprayed that with my homemade mist. I just use mica powder and water and gum arabic. Gum arabic is a binding agent, so that's what's going to allow the mica to actually adhere and stay onto the paper instead of just wiping off once the water dries. And now I'll just build up my scene. So I'll place my house. I'm going to add one little ghost on the outside, put my pumpkins on, and also a couple of bats. With the ghost, what I did in advance was I took a piece of scrap white paper and I just swiped my clear embossing ink right across it, nice and generously, not to soak it, but just to make sure that there was full coverage of the embossing ink. And then I covered the panel with glow-in-the-dark WOW embossing powder. And what that does is it actually makes the entire die cut glow in the dark. So I thought that would be a fun little surprise. In the daytime, the ghost is clearly visible and it almost has that little bit of translucent look, but then at night it glows. So originally I thought the eyes looked kind of weird and I wasn't sure, but I decided to just die cut and lay black eyes and mouth into them. I don't know if that was the right call. I'm open to suggestions if you think there's something that might have looked a little bit better than what I've done. But the eyes weren't that visible, so I thought I wanted to actually make them show up more. So that's why I did that. But in the end, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I added a little sentiment, Creep It Real, that's an embossing plate from Spellbinders, and I used some glimmer foil also from Spellbinders, which nicely matched the purple in the house. So I thought that sentiment brought it together really nicely. So that's my card for today. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, please consider liking, commenting, and sharing. And if you want to catch new videos as I publish them, hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Thanks so much, and until my next video, happy crafting and have a fantastic day. Bye!